A minute late. Time for our afternoon coffee talk update on what is a bright and hot day across town. Here's a look outside downtown Orlando, looking pretty good. Looking toward the, what is that? Creative Village? Is that what they ended up calling it? Not bad. Bright and sunny in that spot. Look at the temperatures across Central Florida. It is a warm one. We're once again in the lower 90s, 91 degrees in the city. Beautiful. It is 89 degrees in Kissimmee. We're at 79 in the Villages, 87 in Leesburg. Over along the shoreline where we've had some nastier storms marching through, 73 in Palm Coast, 83 in Daytona Beach. Speaking of nasty storms, let's pop up our first warning live Doppler radar. And just as expected, all of the nasty weather is out west, out east of town. What's going on with my brain today? I don't even know. Let's zoom in and see. Northern Brevard County, for example. Let's zoom in our first warning Doppler radar and see what's doing. Nice thunderstorm action working through Holly Hill, Ormond Beach. We'll put this on a radar lapse, and you can kind of see all of that moisture working on through Ormond Beach. More heavy downpours marching into your area. If you live in Daytona Beach, Port Orange, down through the Ponce Inlet, New Smyrna Beach, we're actually watching a few other storms that are marching in from the west, from DeLeon Springs. And I want to just take a look for a moment here. I just want to look at our live radar's velocity channel. Definitely some good winds. I just wanted to check things out. Okay, all right, just checking. There's some good winds in there. That's all. Just kind of gave me a little something interesting of an inflow notch, so wanted to peek in on that. All right, let's head further to the south. New Smyrna Beach, the first storms are moving out. Scottsmore back over toward Mims, we're looking good. Kennedy Space Center, some rain. Heavy downpours over Port St. John. From about Cape Canaveral in the port all the way down through Cocoa Beach and Patrick Space Force Base, watching some heavy downpours. Melbourne raining nicely. And there's this doozy of a storm just south of Palm Bay, working over toward Grant, Valcaria, Mico, the Sebastian Inlet. Very heavy rain. That's all lifting up from Fellsmere and Indian River County. We widen the perspective out, and this is all associated loosely with the storm system that's arriving tomorrow. There's strong to severe storms north of our area. That's continuing. We just had our first tornado warning issued up in Georgia. And with that said, that's where the instability is today. That's going to be working into our area. We have just enough instability that we have seen that one severe thunderstorm in Flagler County. And looking, frankly, at the rest of the day today, there is the chance in our easternmost areas. See, I do know my east and west. Easternmost areas to get an isolated strong to severe storm. Today, level 1 risk of strong to severe weather. But notice for tomorrow, for Thursday, the area highlighted in yellow, scattered strong to severe storms. That is a level 2 out of 5 risk for strong to severe weather. And that's why we've declared tomorrow as a first warning weather day. We do not do this to scare you, but we're in the business of making sure you know and your family knows when the weather could get a little rougher. It could get a little rougher tomorrow, so we want to make sure you know. Tomorrow is that level 2 out of 5 risk. I think the worst of the weather, though, from about 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So at least it's good in that it really won't mess with our time outside of work, unless you're like me and you work non-standard hours. It won't mess around with the commutes. It will mess around with my day off, but that's okay. Such is life. I knew what the job was when I signed up for it. So I will be in with Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi tracking these storms for you. Now, before you ask, yes, we're going to look hour by hour, so you don't even have to worry about it. That's what we do, all right? So for tonight, any of the storms that move out will move off the East Coast. We're going to be looking good. Overnight rest, easy, not a problem. 6, 7, 8 o'clock. We're using Beta Futurecast because I think that the timing on this is actually probably the best we've got, all right? So there's 8 o'clock. We're doing fine. Our northern areas starting to see some of those colors showing up. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, showers, maybe thunder showers, but it's around 11, 12. Once we start throwing in a little heat and humidity and instability, you start to see those colors going a little more vibrant, getting a little stronger. That's where I think the window begins. Again, it's around lunchtime, and then continuing in 1 o'clock, our westernmost communities, by 2, 3 o'clock getting into the metro area. Those showers and storms continuing to work over toward the East Coast through 4 o'clock, and by about 5, 6 o'clock, exiting out of Brevard County. So if we were to put an overall time idea on this, morning up north and west of town, but getting a little stronger toward the lunch hour. Then around lunch hour, getting into the metro, and then about 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. into our southeasternmost areas, okay? When we talk about the threats for tomorrow, I think that, many of these showers and storms are going to have some good gusty winds. But to get to severe winds, I think some of them will. To get to hail criteria, I think some of them will. The threat of tornadoes is relatively low, but it's not no. So again, most of these storms, strong winds, but several severe thunderstorms with winds of 60 miles an hour or greater. Several could be hail producers, and maybe one or two does have that threat of producing a tornado. Okay, so we're watching this. We're making sure that you know exactly what's going on. The good news, when it's done, it's done. Our forecast here locally looking infinitely better for the Axiom 1 launch, which is over at the Kennedy Space Center. This is at 11:17 in the morning on Friday. 80% chance of good weather. Just have to deal with wind shear concerns offshore, upper levels of the atmosphere, and then offshore conditions for both booster recovery and abort ascent recovery. These are things that we're going to monitor. But again, the big story for now, at least in the weather world, is going to be tomorrow. First warning weather day, we have declared it just to make sure everybody's on the same page, 11 a.m. to about 5 p.m. That's the timeline, okay? And then it clears out, and then it cools down for this upcoming weekend. Holy cannoli, it is going to be beautiful. Lots more on that. Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi is working this evening. He's got the very latest, all right? In the meantime, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for the afternoon coffee talk. I will see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Be here. We're going to update all the brand new model data on the severe threat, the strong threat, and of course, I'll be there with Tony in the afternoon.